Hello, welcome to Old Nerd Reads His Marvel Comics in Order, episode 93. This time I read Marvel 2-in-1, number 24, the February 1977 issue. My copy, not good. Probably fine minus, actually. Pages are pretty yellowed and brittle. Creative team on this one. It's a pretty cool creative team. We've got Jim Shooter writing with Bill Mantlo, which is pretty cool. This is actually Bill Mantlo's last issue. He's leaving this title, but he's writing a whole bunch of other stuff, as well as Sal Buscema's. I don't think he's leaving, but he draws just about everything Bill Mantlo does, and then some. Pablo Marcos, who I think is a great inker for Sal Buscema. But this issue co-stars Black Goliath, and he is. There must be some kind of correlation. Like a lot of the bullpen, including Roy Thomas, I think had moved out to California at this time, SoCal. And like there was a whole bunch of activity on the West Coast all of a sudden. Like in this issue, you'll see that there's a Stark lab out there called Stark West. The Champions are based out there in Los Angeles. And I guess Black Goliath is as well. And I don't know if that's because Roy Thomas had moved out there recently or not, but it seems like it lines up with him moving out there pretty closely. But this is kind of a hyping Black Goliath type story. Does a good job of giving you his origin and understanding of his powers and how they work and stuff like that. Basically, Ben is on loan from the Fantastic Four to Tony Stark for this experiment at Stark Labs West, who being the experiment being run by Bill Foster here, who is nobody knows at this point, though, Black Goliath. So he's a scientist who works for Tony Stark, and he's conducting these pressure and temperature experiments. This is the atmosphere of planet Venus, I think, and he's just testing some equipment for this Stark lab, basically, for them under those conditions, because the thing can handle it. We got a little cameo by Tony Stark. Meanwhile, outside of the lab, we've got a sleepy security guard who is surprised by something. We cut back to the lab, and we find out they're under attack. They've been gassed. While Ben, the Thing, is safely inside the testing chamber of the lab, so he's being kept separate from all this. But this mysterious hijacker comes in, and this is all his doing. He is breaking into Stark West, and he hit this room first on his way in, I guess, this lab. But he locks the Thing inside that chamber, so the Thing can't smash his way out of there. Even though he can't, because he'll poison everybody if he does. And Bill Foster is able to withstand the gas by going under it on the floor, finding the hijacker and tripping him up. So we get a introduction to him being heroic right off the bat, even before he turns into his superhero alter ego. But he's weakened by the effects of the gas already, and the hijacker makes quick work of him. But before he passes out, he is able to open the airlock and let the Thing out. Now this, I think, is just some great storytelling, Sal Buscema style. Sometimes Sal Buscema is awesome. Sometimes Sal Buscema just mails it in. He always keeps his backgrounds very plain, very minimal, and it works really well here. I don't know if it's Pablo Marcos inking. I think that probably has something to do with it. But as far as the pictures themselves, but the storytelling is all Sal Buscema, and it's really wonderful. The Thing makes his way. The door opens, and he comes out. He crosses the airlock. The other door is sealed, so he winds up, and he punches it out. It's a great picture right there. Great drawing. And now he's in the control room and able to drag Bill Foster and his assistant out of the lab. And now he's going after the hijacker. And now Black Goliath dons his costume and grows to his full 15 feet. I guess he's tied up with Ant-Man somehow. Like there was an early issue of the Avengers where the Ant-Man got stuck as a giant, maybe as a 10-foot giant, and then Bill Foster was called in. So he must have had an appearance in an early issue of Avengers, I'm guessing. I don't know that for sure, but yeah, he perfected this serum that was used on Ant-Man, and now he can control how tall he can grow to 15 feet by thinking about it, and shrink back down again just by thinking about it. And I guess he's probably super strong when he's tall too. But so the hijacker, here's been what the plan was all along, was this top secret lab inside Stark West that contained all of his prototypes. All Tony Stark's technological prototypes are kept in this top secret lab vault. And he's going to take all of this Stark tech and make a bunch of money off of it. But here we get like the backup story, or the backstory on the Tinkerer, where he must have had the hijacker must have had like one earlier appearance in Ant-Man. Ant-Man defeated him, but now he's making a comeback, he thinks, by stealing Tony Stark's tech. He didn't count on the Thing being there that day though. And yeah, this is just really great storytelling, I think. Really simple. And the artwork looks great. And I think that's thanks to Pablo Marcos more than it is to Sal Buscema. No disrespect to Sal Buscema, who is a great artist. But Pablo Marcos really finishes his line work nicely, I think. Sharpens up the compositions. Yeah, the Thing gets blasted backwards, but there's a giant hand to catch him. It's Giant Man. The 15 feet tall, I mean, he'd have to be a lot taller than 15 feet tall, just one-handed like that, catch the Thing in midair. But whatever, it's comic books, right? And here we have the Thing actually breaking the fourth wall. I knew it. I knew one of them LA superheroes would show up. It was in the stars. Breaking the fourth wall. There's a few jokes like that throughout here. It's kind of funny. Because this is just kind of a silly story, really. Just to show the Black Goliath off to a wider audience through, the wider appeal of Ben Grimm at the time, the Thing. It's very well done, though. Even though it's kind of silly, it's very well done. I attribute that to two masters working on the story, Jim Shooter and Bill Mantlo working together on this story. Like they're two titans of storytelling in comic book history. But yeah, fight ensues. And after 2 pages of ads and letters pages, we're back. One of Tony Stark's prototype robots is unleashed on Black Goliath, and he needs the Thing's help to beat it. But then the hijacker comes back with his murder dozer, comes right through the ceiling. Look at this full page drawing of the murder dozer coming at our two heroes through the ceiling. Well, I think it's actually through a wall, but the way it's drawn, it's more exciting to make it look like that from that angle. But they're able to fight it off, the two of them. I don't believe that Black Goliath has enough strength to stop a machine of that size on tank treads, but with spikes, he's stopping it before an unconscious or a knocked for a loop Thing is lying right in its path, about to get run over, and he stops it. I don't know. I don't think I buy that. But hey, it's comics, right? See, he's slowing it down at least. And Ben Grimm comes to enough to roll away from the spikes and under the carriage of the tank and punch a hole through it and rip out a bunch of circuitry wires. And then Black Goliath tears the cockpit out along with the hijacker, and bah, bah, bah. This is funny. He after he rips off his mask and just like I thought, I don't know you from Adam. My name is, hey, I didn't ask. See this finger? Yes. And he flicks him. And that's it's a really good introduction for Black Goliath, I think. Like, I understood, like, kind of his backstory, got to see him in action, got to see how his powers worked, got to have an explanation for his powers. It was really well done, like, as far as trying to introduce Black Goliath to, like, a wider audience, I'd say, which was probably the whole point of it, because it's kind of a throwaway story, really. It's kind of silly with this giant killdozer thing, and thing breaking the fourth wall in the middle of it, and just, it's still fun, though. It's still good. It was a good read. I like it. I thought it was fun. But anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'm reading through my comic book collection for the first time in my life. I'm reading through it, like, in order from around the time I was born. Some of my earliest issues in this series were Captain America's from 1974. And I started there, and I'm just reading through my comic book collection, my Marvel comic book collection, in publishing date order, in order to get, like, a feel for the history and learn about it as it goes and progresses, and became what it was when I was, like, in the 80s, when I was starting to read and collect these, and just to see what led up to that point, and watch reread the stuff that I loved as a kid. And so it's just kind of a big, long project. And I'm making a video for everyone. So if that sounds cool, please subscribe. And if you know somebody who'd enjoy it, you got another old nerd friend who likes the internet, please share it. And give me a like, subscribe, stick around for more. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.